Hi, welcome to this channel. My name is Beatriz and I'm going to show you how to do this headband. And this is a beginner's tutorial and I'm a beginner also. You just have to, know the basics like cast on and knit and purl stitches and just like bind off. Basically, this is what you need to know. And we are going to work with two stitches, the popcorn stitch and the seed stitch, but they are quite simple, and and I will show you how to do this. And I've only knitted like this is the third thing that I've knitted my whole life, so this really is beginner appropriate. This pattern is a vintage pattern that I found for free, and I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And this is from the 60s, I think it's 1961, so I thought that I would do this like Twiggy inspired makeup. I'm actually not really good with makeup or experience, so I'm really happy how this turned out. So yeah, I thought this was going to be appropriate. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you knitting this pattern, and it helps you being more creative. And yeah, so that's it. Let's do this. So regarding the needles, I decided to use 5mm needles, and I'm using these bamboo ones, and they aren't great. I think that if I would do this again, I would use metal needles, because when you're going to do the popcorn stitch, and you'll see it later, it's kinda, you have to increase 5 stitches into one stitch, and so I feel like it's better if the needle slides a little bit better. But I mean, this worked perfectly. I bought this specifically for this project because I didn't have any 5mm needles, and the metal ones were a little bit expensive, so I decided to buy these. But I'm still not 100% like convinced, but they did the job, because in the beginning, when I was learning how to knit, I picked up some random needles in a thrift store, metal ones, which they were really nice. But now I haven't found that many needles, and I can't just expect to find those needles the exact size that I want in the thrift store, so I had to buy these. Regarding the yarn, I used this yarn, and I don't know the composition or the thickness, because this was a sweater or like a jacket that I thrifted, and I think it was handmade because it didn't have any tags. So I don't know like the material of this or the thickness, but I think it worked like okay with these. And the 5mm needles, I think this is like wool, maybe with another blend, I'm not sure. So yeah, and I did this because I was trying to be a little bit more sustainable. So I just picked like a sweater in a thrift store, I unraveled it, and then I washed the yarn, and then I did these little skeins, and yeah, so that's what I used. But I will probably have to start to use other yarns and buy new ones, because it's not always easy to find things to unravel in thrift stores, at least where I live. Okay, so I just did the little swatch, and let's just ignore the beginning because it's extremely messy. I'm really like rusty because I haven't knitted in a long time. But so this is it, and they don't say what type of stitch to do. So I did the because in the border I think it's a seed stitch, so knit one, purl one, knit one. So I don't know if this is going to focus. So this is what I did, and they say like for 2 inches is 9 stitch and 13 rows, and I have 9 stitches and 15 rows. But I'm not going to alter anything because I feel like that's good enough. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go with it because I don't want to change the needle size. I don't think it's that necessary. So yeah, now I'm going to start doing the actual headband. So this is what I've knitted so far. It's roughly around 30 centimeters long, so around like 12 inches, and it's in the seat stitch. Okay, so I didn't show this part very well, but basically what you have to do is to increase 2 stitches in each stitch. So as you can see here, I am knitting in the front, but then I'm not going to let the loop go off yet, and I'm going to knit again at the back. And then I knit in the front again. So basically with 1 stitch you end up with 3. So you begin with 3 stitches and you will end up with 9. Okay, so it's a new day and this is how much I did yesterday. I ended up with the row number 8, and I will show you how the popcorns are looking. So these are the ones that I did now. It's kind of hard to see, I feel, and they look way better than the ones that I did first, because in the beginning I was doing the stitches really tight, and so you can barely see the popcorn, but now I am doing this way better. And so we have this bigger popcorns. So yeah, so this is what we have now, and I'm going to do the row number 9 now. I've done row number 9. Now I have 5 popcorns on this row, and some of them are like really perfect looking, and others they feel like they are really loose, or I don't know if you can see that, but see there's this big loop here, and others are just like perfect little round balls. So I'm not sure why some of them look like that, but I'm going to keep going. And yeah, so now we are going to do row number 10, and it's easier than the other one. You don't have to do any popcorns. When you reach the row 16, they say that you have to repeat the last 8 rows until 13 inches and a half from the first increase row. And so this is like the first increase row here, and when you finish, you have to finish with the pattern with the row 9. So basically what you have to do over and over again is always like the row 9, 10, 11, 10, 13, 10, 11, 10. And I'm going to write this here so you don't get lost. So it's basically this over and over again: 9, 10, 11, 10, 13, 10, 11, 10. And so you just have to do that over and over again until you reach around, so until this measures around 30 centimeters long, or 12 inches. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so this is what I have right now. It's around like 34 centimeters or 35, I'm not sure. And now I'm going to have to start decreasing. So I can show you, this is like really messy, but these were the rows that we had to repeat, and I was like writing the number of each row so I wouldn't forget. And this is so I did 89 rows in total, and you have to stop with the number 9 row, and so that you end, so that you're going to start on the wrong side when you decrease. And I had to change my yarn, but it's fine. and I mean now I like it more than it was before, but I'm not sure how it looks, if I'm going to like it in my head. Okay, so I look kind of crazy but this is what it looks right now. I'm not sure, like, first of all, I wasn't expecting this to be so white, but it's fine, I guess. But I'm just kind of afraid that I look like an old lady, or I don't know. So knit, purl, knit, and now we are going to purl two together, which is basically you just scoop two stitches together like this, and then you purl as usual. So now we should have 21 stitches. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And at least for me, I always find it helpful to check once in a while the number of stitches that I have, because at least in this case there was a time where I had one more or sometimes you can drop a stitch, which actually also happened to me in the beginning, so I find it useful if you don't have a lot of practice like I don't. So now we are going to have to do some popcorns. So knit, purl for the border. And then we are going to have to do a popcorn. So we have the 5 stitches here. This part I always find a little bit tricky. One, 2, 3, 4, then purl 1, knit 2, and then another popcorn.